Good morning, everybody. My name is Teresa Castano and I'm working as field application scientist in molecular devices. In today's video, I will show you how to quantify DNA using a 96 well plate using SoftMax Pro. Before moving to the software, I would like to explain some basics about absorbance as well as give tips regarding the recommended type of plate and volume to use. It is well known that DNA can be measured at 260 nanometer following the Beer-Lambert law, where absorbance is equal to the extinction coefficient, concentration, and path length. From this equation, and when the rest of parameters are well known, nucleic acid concentration can be calculated. Let's have a look how each parameter will be determined. Absorbance will be measured by the plate reader. The extinction coefficient is a factor which depends on the solvent used. As you can observe in the graph, we have determined the coefficient of the three most common used buffers: water, tea buffer, and tea in saline. If in your essay you are using a different buffer, it can be easily calculated using a positive control. And finally, the path length, which using our patent PathCheck is being normalized to 1 centimeter. With the use of ready-to-go protocol in SoftMax Pro, all the calculations have been created for you, meaning you don't need to worry about it and the software will calculate it for you. In this slide, I will briefly explain PathCheck, which is a patent way of measuring the sample depth into a microplate. When using cuvette, the path length was fixed to 1 centimeter. However, when using a 96 well plate, the path length is depending on the volume in the well. Therefore, when selecting PathCheck on the software settings, path length will be automatically normalized to 1 centimeter. The main applications for PathCheck are the following: extension of dynamic range, check the pipetting skill of users, check your pipettes, and finally quantify DNA on a 96 well plate without using a calibration curve. When it comes to measure DNA, the type of plate used has an enormous effect. As you can observe in the first figure, the absorbance profile from different microplates vary, and some of them have a high absorbance in the UV range, around 260 nanometer, where nucleic acids also absorbs. Therefore, an UV-compatible plate must be selected in order to assure reliable data. Last but not least, the used volume has also a critical effect. When using a standard 96 well plate, no less than 70 microliter should be used due to possible meniscus effect. If you would like to use less volume, I will highly recommend using half area plates or 384 well plates. If you have any question, please do not doubt in contact us. We will be very happy to help you. Now I will move into SoftMax Pro. Using this ready-to-go protocol, the plate will be measured at 3 different wavelengths: 260, 280, and 230 nanometer. As I have just mentioned on the presentation, PathCheck is selected in order to normalize the path length at 1 centimeter. On the plate, as you can observe, there are 3 different numbers which correspond to the measured absorbance at 260, 280, and 230 nanometer respectively. If you check in the template editor, you can assign the samples and blank to the corresponding wells. After that, you just need to go to the sample section and the following information will be automatically calculated for you: concentration, optical density at 260, 280, and 230, and also the ratios to 60 to 80 and to 60 to 30. This table can be further customized depending on your needs. The last point to take into consideration is the addition of the concentration factor. For that, you only need to go to the bottom part of this table and need to double check here and type the corresponding concentration. I hope you could learn how easy it is to quantify DNA on a 96 well plate without using a calibration curve, using SoftMax Pro software. Thank you for your time, and please feel free to contact us with any questions.